All right, what's happening, guys? All right, we're out here on the trap line today. Got a couple knuckleheads with us this morning. Say hey, YouTube. Anyway, it rained a bunch for like the last 2 days, and we had a possum and a raccoon this morning and the coon cubs. We really hadn't been expecting much, and we pulled up here and got a nice surprise on this trap. Nice, pretty looking, as pretty as a little mud ball red fox can look. We had a trash pile set in here. All this slash from these cutting these trees was just kind of piled up here, so it was a good natural, little trash pile. Just kind of punched a hole up in the pine straw, threw some bait and some lure in it, snagged us a nice red. So anyway, cool, man. We're gonna get some pictures of him best as we can anyway, like I say, with the mud and him being soaking wet and everything. But anyway, we're gonna get some pictures and handle him and move on. All right, so right here where we just caught this red, we're gonna remake this set, and I call this set a trash pile set. I don't know what anybody else calls it, but that's just kind of what I made up. Basically, we got a good pile of debris and stuff here that was already here. It was natural, and I cleaned it back up after we caught the fox. He made a pretty big mess of it. But what I'll do is I'll just pile, sticks, pine straw, leaves, whatever. And what I'm trying to simulate is a food site, a food cache of a bobcat, because the cats and all animals, but mostly cats, they'll kill something, they'll eat a little bit of it, and they'll stash it and come back. So that's kind of what I'm trying to simulate here, is a food cache. So what I do run a bait hole in here, but it's just on the surface of the ground. It's really hard angled, just a little bit like that, nothing major. Maybe only 4 or 5 inches up under the trash pile here. And I've tried to dig all this mud and wet, caked up dirt out of the bed as I can. I found some somewhat dry dirt, so I'm gonna try to remake this set here as best we can under these conditions. But this is my trash pile set. I'll usually put like a little daub of lure right on top of the trash pile, and then put a big chunk of bait up under the debris. So get this bedded in here. This is a Bridger 175, and it made a good full pad catch on that fox. These are great little fox traps. They're good coyote traps too. Like I say, I've been using them for years. Kind of started getting into the MB450s a little bit just to try to improve my catch rate some. I think as these traps get a little older, the metal starts to wear a little bit on them. Start kind of losing some of the tensile strength in the springs and things like that, and maybe you lose a little bit of pop to them. So I've been kind of replacing these 175s with the 450s this year. This is just pure ground up mice meat. I raise my own mice and grind them up in a meat grinder and put some preservative on them. I'm not going to put any urine on this set because the foxes left plenty of scent around. And that's pretty much a trash pile set. It's one of the higher back end profiles that I used, maybe about 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches high. And then the trap set just slightly back and offset from the hole. And like I said, I go real sharp with that hole up in there. It really makes animals stand back and work. And then they really move their feet around a lot trying to figure out how to get into that trash pile. So that's it, guys. Moving on. Hey, what's up, y'all? All right, fourth catch of the day on this day after this rain, which again, pretty surprising to me. But hey, I'm glad we're catching fur even in the mud and the rain. Old mud ball raccoon here. I don't even think we're gonna be able to remake this set. We're gonna have to move it, but anyway, good catch. Probably won't be getting any pictures of this guy. I'm gonna try and get him out of there and end his suffering quick as we can. But anyway, still putting fur in the truck, man, even on a day after 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. So that's awesome. Hey, good evening, guys. All right, we're out here in the fur shed, or my shop, and just got done putting up some hides from the day, and skinning and fleshing and washing and stretching, and going through the whole motions of handling fur. And just wanted to kind of wrap this video up just to just with a food for thought kind of thing about why we trap. You know, there's a lot of younger people that are getting into trapping these days, and that's a great thing. You know, I try to pass the tradition on to my kids and teach them, you know, how to trap and the importance of trapping and the importance of, you know, being an ethical trapper and not allowing animals to suffer, you know, just being humane about it, and how the right way to trap is. And you know, the reason that I trap anyway, and the reason that most of us trap, is number one, it's conservation. It's a humongous conservation tactic. In my area specifically, I live in the low country of South Carolina. I'm near the coast, about 20 miles from the coast, about 20 miles from Georgia. And coyotes aren't native here to our area. They showed up maybe 40 years ago, and you know, they've really changed a lot around here. They've changed turkeys tremendously. Our turkeys they're not as vocal as they used to be, and I believe that that's an adaptation that they've developed because of the predation of coyotes. And you know, our fawn mortality rate around here, on average, coyotes, a breeding pair of coyotes in the springtime will kill and eat anywhere between 12 to 20 fawns. Rabbits, lots of small game and stuff, suffer from the impact of invasive coyotes in our area. And you know, I mean, the argument that a lot of people want to pose there is, well, you don't just catch coyotes. No, we don't just catch coyotes. We catch everything. We catch raccoons, possums, bobcats, fox, coyotes, you know, just about anything that's attracted to the traps. And you know, all those animals need to be kept in check, because predators are predators, and they are just that. They are predators. And you know, a coyote has no natural enemy. It has no predation. There's nothing in nature other than disease and natural cause to regulate a coyote's population. They disperse, and they do their best to regulate population, or regulate their own population. But I've been trapping all my life, and here recently, in the last 2 or 3 years, I've started trapping for the state of South Carolina for the sea turtle programs. And these barrier islands that we have out here, a lot of them are uninhabited. There's no road systems. They're only accessible by boat. Some of them are even cut off to the public. So there's no human impact on these beaches, on these islands. And there's hundreds and hundreds of sea turtles that nest here on these islands every year, on these beaches and the sand dunes. And coyotes have made their way to these islands. And some of these islands have required several miles of, you know, bog, marsh travel, and in some cases a mile or better of swimming. And these coyotes have gotten on these islands, and they're a super predator out there, because there's nothing that can even compete closely to them, and they're decimating these sea turtle populations. So that's just, in my area, that's a extremely negative impact that they've had on our ecosystem and our environment. I mentioned it in a video a while back. I was trapping coyotes on a large sand hill just north of here, and the gopher tortoise, a big land turtle that we have here in South Carolina in the low country, the coyotes, they dig at their dens, they dig at their burrows to get after the little rodents and the mammals and the snakes and things like that that live in the gopher tortoise burrows. They dig in the burrows to get after the gopher tortoise eggs when they're nesting, and they're really having a negative impact on those as well, and those are endangered and protected species. So that's just to mention a few. You know, you could go on and on and on about what the negative impacts of coyote predation are in different areas. And I trap pretty specifically just to this low country area. I have traveled and trapped before, but predators have to be kept in check. You know, hunting is a tool, trapping is a tool, and basically there's a lot of antis out there. There's a lot of people that want to tear down our way of life and take away our traditions, and take away our sports. And in my case, it would be absolutely taking away my way of life and my income. I'm a full-time trapper, and that's what I make a living doing. So if trapping was ever to be outlawed or restricted so much so to the point that the average man couldn't do it, I'd be out of a job, and that'd be pretty detrimental to me. And hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, you know, make a living based off of a trapping or fur industry. So, you know, I'm just kind of passing on this information, especially to a lot of you younger generation trappers out there, to be able to defend yourself when somebody does come at you in a negative way. And don't be negative back. I have a lot of conversations with people on social media who they're 100% anti-trapping, anti-fur, anti-anything that involves what they view as harming an animal, even fishing. You know, they're against fishing. And they come at me, you know, with profanity and name calling and stuff like that, and I just talk, you know, I talk back positively to them. I don't meet them with negativity, and you know, I'd say about a 50-50 split. Most times you may not change their mind, but you may open their eyes a little bit to, you know, just the reality of trapping and why it is a good management tool, and what the importance of it is for the environment and the ecosystem. You know, human beings have had a major impact on the environment and the ecosystem in positive and negative ways all throughout history. You know, several species were hunted to near extinction years ago until rules and regulations were put in place, and now there's not an endangered fur bearer in North America right now. As to, you know, 75 or 100 years ago, there were several species who were, you know, endangered or very close to extinction because of over hunting, over trapping, and just, you know, lack of education as far as regulations and things go. But people are obviously following those rules now, and a vast majority of people are. And it only takes a few bad apples to spoil a bunch. You know, social media can be a great tool to spread a positive word about something, or it can be absolutely just explosive in a negative way. If, you know, think about what you post on social media. Think about the picture, think about the content, think about what it is you're about to post before you post it, and really think, is this gonna impact trapping, hunting, fishing, whatever, outdoor sports? Is it going to impact us in a negative way or a positive way? You know, I think it was in Michigan or whatever, Wisconsin, somewhere up north, out west, where the boys shot and, you know, crippled a deer, and they were riding on her back and everything while she was out there, obviously in pain, dying slowly, and you know, just tormenting the deer. And they were, you know, they were brought to justice because of it. But that made national news. You know, I think I have a rat in my shop. That made national news. You know, that was on CNN because of the negative impact that it had. You know, I'm not going to be on CNN because I catch 50 coyotes a year and help out a turkey population or a deer population or a sea turtle population in an area. I'll never make that kind of news. And, you know, so just really think about what you're posting before you do on social media. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to spread that, you know, hopefully that helpful information to the viewers out there. And like I say, especially to the younger generation, that you can be able to have, you know, have a leg to stand on when it comes to, you know, defending your way of life and defending your freedoms and defending what you believe in and what you believe is right. So I hope that helps, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and we look forward to putting up another one here real soon. We got a lot of traps out and got a lot of potential. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.